All right. Thank you very much. Good evening. Good to see all of you here this evening.
I'm glad to be here.
That's all right. Please, now we can call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lyles.
Here.
Councilmember McCarty.
Here.
Councilmember Stovall.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mullins. Here. Mayor Gross.
Here. All right. Thank you. Obviously, we have a quorum. And, of course, we'll do our usual moment of silence this evening. We do that so that everyone can pray or meditate as they see fit. Hope you will pray. I will be. And if you would keep this country, this community, and certainly this council meeting in your thoughts and prayers, that would be appreciated. And while we're standing, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance. Isn't that right, Councilman?
We are, and she's already standing up. Catherine is going to do it for us.
Okay.
Oh, you're not standing up, Catherine. I'm sorry.
I guess we ought to include Keith in our prayers, right?
Visitation Friday.
No. Oh, friend.
Would you please face the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay. We'll start out our meeting this evening, as usual, with the community events. Councilman McCarty?
Yes. All right, we have a few.
Member McCarty, excuse me.
That's all right. On April the 9th, there is a lunch and learn with Debbie Custer from 12 to 1 p.m. at the Charles Hill Senior Center.
I'm so proud of you.
You did
Way
it.
to go.
You did it. In the April 19th, there's a shred event from 9 to 12 here at the municipal building parking lot. Do we still need volunteers for that? Are you taking volunteers?
I'm ready to come out, but if possible.
Okay. April the 24th is Arbor Day celebration from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Vinton Public Library. April the 25th and the 26th is the Dogwood Festival in downtown Vinton. And then May the 26th, the town offices will be closed for the observance of Memorial Day. Did I miss anything on here that's coming up with the chamber other than the lunch and learn? Okay.
Thank you, Connie.
It's, May the 16th is a golf tournament. Yeah, golf tournament at Blue Hills Golf Club on May the 16th, 2025. And we encourage everyone to visit one of the many restaurants and entertainment venues in our community. And for more information, it can be found on each venue's website or social media. And for more information on everything happening in Vinton, please visit the In Vinton Facebook page and don't forget to like and share.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Any other events to be announced tonight? If not, we'll move on to the council activities. Vice Mayor Mullins.
All righty. I have March the 6th, Councilmember Lyles attended the Advisory Comprehensive Plan meeting. On March the 10th, Councilmember Lyles and Councilmember McCarty attended an economic development project discussion with staff. March 26th, Councilmember McCarty and Vice Mayor Mullins attended Public Works Committee meeting. Also on the 26th, Councilmember Lyles attended the Advisory Comprehensive Plan meeting. Also on the 26th was a busy day. Mayor Gross attended the city manager reception. March 27th, Councilmember Lyles and Councilmember Stovall attended the TPO meeting. Also on the 27th, Mayor Gross attended the, I'm going to see if I can get it. Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission meeting.
All right. Man, you ladies
Just had the acronym, so I wanted to.
Getting tongue-tied tonight.
and today we attended, all of us attended a work session at 3 and then helped planting the pinwheels out front of the municipal building.
Very good. Thank you very much. Lots going on. Next item is a request to postpone or change the order of the agenda. Anybody? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to the consent agenda, which for tonight includes the minutes of the regular meeting on March 18th, 2025. Is there any changes or additions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. And now the fun stuff. We'll move on to the awards and presentations. And we have with us tonight some ladies from the GFW something rather, right?
Women's Club event.
Oh, okay, very good. So Catherine, if you and your friends would like to come up and get us clued in, you can make your presentation now.
Outstanding.
Hey! Oh, man.
Yeah. Before I begin my presentation, I want to introduce you to two of our club members. We seem to be the only healthy ones in our club right now.
Wow.
So y'all say a little prayer for us. Everybody else seems to have something going on. This is our treasurer, Carol Williams Mills, and Judy Bannock, who is our immediate past club president. And they helped tonight also with the planning of the pinwheels.
Awesome. Welcome, ladies.
On behalf of the GFWC Women's Club of Benton and the Benton Police Department, we would like to thank the town of Benton for allowing us to plant our blue and silver pinwheel garden. And thanks to the police department for partnering with our club members in the planning that took place this afternoon to promote National Child Abuse Awareness Prevention Month. Say that fast several times. We thank the mayor, town council members, and town employees for their assistance today. Thank you. The Pinwheels for Prevention campaign provides a unique opportunity for all of us to work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, nurturing environment. Yet, too many families face challenges that put their well-being at risk. Prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. We encourage you to spread the word and raise awareness. We can make a difference, one child at a time. The General Federation of Women's Clubs is celebrating 135 years of service and volunteering in all 50 states, and we have more than 23 international clubs in 13 countries. Our members work locally to create change. GFWC Club women are mothers, sisters, wives, daughters, doctors, teachers, CEOs, and community leaders who are dedicated to enhancing the lives of others through volunteer service. Similar gardens have been planted across the United States and in other countries during April, including our organization's headquarters in Washington, D.C. Every year, club women raise awareness of child abuse and promote healthy childhoods by planting these gardens. Prevent Child Abuse introduced the pinwheel in 2008 as the official symbol of great childhoods. The pinwheel reminds us of our own childhoods and the fact that all children deserve to be happy and healthy. In addition, GFWC has earned a reputation as a powerful force to fight against domestic violence. GFWC adopted as our signature project to work in bringing hope to victims and survivors of domestic violence and abuse in 2008. Each year, over 3 million referrals are made to child protection agencies. A report of child abuse is made every 10 seconds, and neglect is the #1 form of abuse. GFWC club members care because we all play a role in children's lives and because the costs are just too high. Building a hopeful future together, we can prevent child abuse because childhood lasts a lifetime. Again, we thank the town of Benton for allowing us to observe the Child Abuse Awareness Prevention Month by displaying the pinwheel garden and banners in the municipal building flower garden, and the Benton Police Department partnering with us. And we thank the town council members for helping pull some of the weeds. All children deserve great childhoods because our children are our future. There is a critical connection between a happy childhood and a hopeful future for every child, and this recommits us to working together to ensure that all children and families have the resources and support they need to reach their full potential. Join us in advocating for happy homes as the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. This year's theme is Powered by Hope, Strengthened by Prevention. We also want to take this time real quick to thank you for allowing us to plant a yellow tulip garden at the entrance to the Walnut Avenue parking lot. This Hope Garden is planted to spread hope and smash the stigma around mental health and suicide. We hope every time someone passes the yellow tulips, they will realize there is always hope and to seek help and keep seeking it. Every child, teenager, and adult is worthy. Together, let's ensure that every child has the nurturing environment they deserve for a better future. And thank you for helping us to build Benton as such a wonderful building community, building hope for everyone. Thank you.
Catherine, thank you so much. Ladies, we appreciate you folks coming over every year and organizing the Pinwheel Garden. And obviously the police department supports that, and we certainly do too. So thank you, ladies, for what you do all year long. We appreciate you so much.
Thank
and
you.
I particularly like the tulip garden.
Tulip Garden.
Very nice.
Wish they could last all summer, but there, if you go by there, if you haven't today, all 50 of them are blooming.
Oh,
So, yeah,
great.
the deer didn't like them evidently.
Very, very significant meaning to that.
Yes,
So
very much so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice job. So, Catherine, were you also going to do the Benton Chamber update?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, I'm sorry. We do have a proclamation for you. And Keith, I think, is going to take care of
I
that.
will.
That's because he's a tall guy.
Whereas the health and safety of all citizens is important to the prosperity and well-being of our families and communities, and whereas our children are our most valuable resource and will shape the future of the Benton community, and whereas child abuse is considered to be one of the nation's most serious public health problems, and the majority of child abuse cases stem from situations and conditions that are preventable in an engaged and supportive community, and whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and how we can prevent it because prevention remains the best defense for our children. And whereas displaying pinwheels during the month of April will serve as a positive reminder that together we can prevent child abuse and neglect and keep our children safe. And whereas the partnership between the General Federation of Women's Clubs, Benton Women's Club, and the Benton Police Department have worked together to raise awareness and promote the prevention of child abuse in our community. Therefore, the mayor, town council, and the town of Benton, on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby recognize the month of April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the town of Benton, and call upon all citizens of the town of Benton and surrounding areas to work together to prevent child abuse.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. You know, not every town is so good to help their organizations, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm up again.
You are. Go for it.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, Angie's surgery last Thursday was a success, and she is slowly healing, but in a lot of pain. It is an absolute honor to stand before you today and share the state of our chamber. And let me tell you, the state of our chamber is strong, thriving, and full of momentum. So far this year, we have seen growth, collaboration, and innovation within our business community. We have welcomed new members and strengthened our partnerships, with one goal in mind: to build a more connected, prosperous, and vibrant community. The collaboration with the downtown businesses for events like Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, and last year's and this year's upcoming 4th of July block parties has brought lots of new faces to our town. We have hosted our second annual casino night and our senior services expo, both in new locations and both very successful. We assisted with the Winter Restaurant Week, which our restaurants say was a much-needed boost, and encouraging them to participate in the upcoming Regional Restaurant Week this spring. We have several ribbon cuttings and after hours on the calendar, and our lunch and learns are booked, and folks are asking for more. And we would like to extend a personal invitation to each of you to join us at these events. The next after hours is April the 24th at the Dogwood Restaurant on their new patio and is sponsored by Booth Bell Realtors, and the music will be Lindsay Prilliman, and that is sponsored by Mountain View Real Estate. So we're excited about that. Pray for a good night like tonight. All of our mingle bands and food trucks are booked. Golf tournaments are set for May 16th and then another one in September. We already have vendors for Fall Festival and entries for the Christmas parade, believe it or not. From small businesses to long-established businesses, our members continue to expand, adapt, and succeed. We've celebrated grand openings, business anniversaries, and economic wins, proving that our local economy is not just surviving, it's thriving. We think our businesses have their finger on the pulse, and folks from all over are noticing. And I am very pleased to announce tonight that our newly elected chamber president is our own Paige Loverin.
All right.
I think someone around here may know her a little bit. Wow, yeah. We're happy. We continue to have a strong voice for our business community, ensuring that local, state, and national policies support our growth and success. Your chamber is at the table working hard to make sure your concerns are heard and addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
And Pete, thank you for my stool.
Thank you, Catherine. Nice report. Next item is citizens' comments and petitions. This is reserved for comments or questions that are not listed on the agenda. Anything? Perhaps this would be a good time to mention that we always appreciate input, petitions or comments from our citizens. And I don't think she has anything tonight, but I'd like to recognize a special citizen that's with us tonight, Marietta Reeder. So it's good to have you with us tonight. And thank you.
Yeah, I've been back-to-back council meetings.
Yeah, you got perfect attendance. Good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good to see you. And with that, we will move on to our first public hearing for tonight. I think the only one. Of course, this involves the real estate tax rates for calendar year 2025. As per usual, I will open the public hearing officially, and we will start with a report from staff. Cody, I see your name listed.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I should talk over. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. So tonight, during this public hearing, we are seeking to adopt the real estate tax rate for the town of Benton for the current year. We received back in February a presentation from Mr. Ken Fay regarding the real estate reassessment that occurs annually on Roanoke County on the town's behalf. So that increase in the reassessment was greater than 1%. So in order to have a proposed rate of keeping the tax rate the same, which is what is proposed tonight, keeping the tax rate the same at 7 cents, need to follow the procedures laid out in the Code of Virginia for holding a public hearing and keeping that rate the same. So The advertisement for the public hearing was duly held greater than 7 days in advance, and so staff would recommend that the real estate rate of 7 cents per $100 evaluation remain the same and open to any questions.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for that report. Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to council questions or discussion. Anything, council? Nope. All right, since there's no discussion, I will officially close the public hearing. And council, you have before you an ordinance which would set the real estate tax rate as Cody described, which is no change in the actual
No
rate.
change in the rate, and I would just note for calendar year 2025. So the first half, the spring real estate bills would go out this spring and be due June 5th.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
Mayor, I'd move to adopt the ordinance setting the real estate tax rate for the calendar year of 2025.
All right. All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles, a second by Councilmember McCarty to adopt the tax as it currently is. Any further discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. Thank you. All right, so we'll move on to items that require action. Cody, you're up again, I believe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. The next item, and this does not require a public hearing, we still advertise it in the messenger just for general purposes. This is for the personal property and machinery and tools tax rates, recommending no change to those rates, with personal property being set at $1 per $1 per $100 of valuation. And then I would also note that the town is a spring biller of personal property tax. So these bills will go out later, if adopted tonight. These bills would go out later in the month, and those are due May 31st.
Okay, thank you, sir. Council, you have any questions for Cody or any comments? All right, if not, we have before us an ordinance which would set the personal property and machine and tools tax rates as described by Mr. Sexton. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance setting the personal property and machinery and tools tax rates for the calendar year 2025.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Vice Mayor Mullins and a second by Councilman Stovall. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. Back to you, sir.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. So the third item tonight regarding taxes is the adoption of the personal property tax relief allocation percentage for the 2025 tax year. So goodness, over 20 years ago, Governor Gilmore sort of instituted this personal property tax relief, or PPTRA. It was to decrease sort of the local burden of taxpayers when it comes to personal property. So every year, Roanoke County goes through an allocation process for us and the county to help us set this rate. So the town receives a flat amount from the state. It's $203,000 and change. It's the same amount every year. And the goal of this PPTRA rate setting process is to allocate that $203,000 of relief from the state to the personal property taxpayers of the town of Vinton. So we do that through a process for if your vehicle is valued at under $1,000, we provide 100% relief, and then we provide the adopted percentage rate of relief for the value of vehicles under $20,000. So your first $20,000 worth of value is where this relief rate is applied, and we set that and provide that to all the ratepayers across the town. So proposed for the calendar year 2025, that rate would be 42.17%. This is an increase over last year's PPTRA rate. So what this means is that all of the personal property taxpayers in the town should see a slight increase in the amount of relief that they receive on their bills this year based on this calculation. So if you have any further questions, be happy to answer.
Great. Thank you. Council, you heard the explanation concerning the personal property tax relief rate. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to consider the adoption of resolution setting the allocation percentage for personal property tax relief to town of Benton for the 2025 tax year.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Stovall, second by Vice Mayor Mullins. Council, any other questions or comments? If not, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. All right. Thank you. All right, looks like Mr. Keene, you're up next.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, members of council. We're joined tonight by Madison Bailey with Brown Edwards, our audit firm, and she's going to be going over the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023 annual comprehensive financial report. As I said a couple of reports ago in the Finance Committee, admittedly, we're behind on getting these processed and finished. We're working very hard to get caught up, and we are already well into 2024. So you'll find in front of you some copies of the ACFR, and while those aren't the final bound copies, Madison, I believe they are not the draft copies. They're the
Okay,
become,
that sounds
but-
great. Good evening, Madison.
Good evening. My name is Madison Bailey, and I'm an in-charge from Brown Edwards out of the Roanoke office. And like Andrew said, I'm here today to present the fiscal year 23 Town of Benton Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, along with the related letters. The results of the audit and the related deliverables were discussed in great detail in the Finance Committee meeting, which was in mid-March. Before I get into our reports, I just wanted to thank council for the opportunity to serve you. My experience with this job over the last few years has been wonderful, and the finance department's great to work with. It's a very long process, over 500 hours, so I just wanted to thank Andrew and Tiffany for their patience and help with the audit. So like I said, today we'll be going over the annual comprehensive financial report. Please feel free to ask questions as we go. So we'll start with the thickest pack of papers that you have that has some pictures on the front of it. If you go ahead and flip to page 1. It doesn't have a page number at the bottom, but it's the independent auditor's reports. It's a few pages into this packet. So this letter really gets at the nature of the audit. We have two objectives for the audit. We opine on the financial statements as well as compliance with laws and regulations material to the financial statements. So for the financial statements, we actually assist the town in preparing these statements, and we basically just take accounting information and turn it into a readable and usable format for users. So we will go ahead and start looking at this letter. So if you see towards the bottom, there's an emphasis of matter paragraph. So this is just basically highlighting the big change for the year, which is the transfer of water and sewer operations to Western Virginia Water Authority. This doesn't change our opinion at all. We just felt like we needed to emphasize it in the report since it did impact quite a lot. All right, and if you skip to page 5, which does have a page number on it, thankfully. So this is the management's discussion and analysis, and this is actually prepared by the town. It's a great tool to look at if you're trying to understand the ACFR, because it's a great overview, and it allows you to compare current year to prior year activity. And if you just flip through these pages, you'll see things such as financial highlights, program revenues and expenditures broken down by department. And then economic factors. So just a lot of useful information in a condensed format. So now we'll get into the actual financial statements, which is on page 13. All right, and what you're looking at is basically just the balance sheet for your governmental and business type activities. So this is presented as a long-term perspective, so you'll see things such as capital assets and long-term debt. You'll also see a column on the far right side that is 2022 amounts, so you'll be able to compare current year and prior year information. As you're looking at this comparison, you'll see that a lot of the business activity accounts decreased this year just due to the transfer. Then the next page, we have Exhibit 2, which is the statement of activities. So this is basically your income statement for the year for both governmental and business type activities. You'll see, starting in the top left, you'll see expenses. And as you look over, you'll see program revenues. If you look towards the middle of the page, you'll see general revenues, which includes your property taxes and your pari-mutuel taxes. You'll see that your property taxes actually increased from $840,000 last year to $1.1 million this year. And your pari-mutuel tax also increased, which is your Rosie's money. So then if you flip to the next page, page 15, you'll see the balance sheet for the governmental fund. So this is just for your general fund, capital projects, and grant fund. And this is just short-term basis. So you won't see anything like capital assets or long-term debt. You will see towards the bottom that your unassigned fund balance for the year is $6.2 million. So this amount carries over from year to year, and it can cover any emergencies or unexpected needs. And you'll see that this did increase from the prior year. It's $5.5 million in 2022. So that's good. Next, we're going to look at page 17. So we'll skip one page. So this is essentially your income statement for your general fund, capital projects, and grant fund. So these are the numbers that matter when you're creating your budget. And you'll actually see at the bottom that your fund balance for each of these funds increased during the current year. So it has a July 1st and then a June 30th comparison. And then we'll skip ahead again to page 20. And here, we're looking at the balance sheet for just your water and sewer and your stormwater management. You will notice that a lot of the balances, like I said, decreased. Your cash went down. Anything like capital assets, that decreased just due to the transfer. Stormwater management is pretty comparable to the prior year. Then the back of this page is just your income statement. So you'll notice that your operating revenues for water and sewer decreased during the year just because the water authority was handling billing. So most of the revenue that came to the water and sewer fund was just other revenue. But you will see that your expenses also decreased in this fund. Towards the bottom of the page, you'll see a transfer of operations to Western Virginia Water Authority line item. So this is just the gain on the transfer, and this amount is $1.2 million. All right, so that pretty much covers the financial statements. Page 23 is the start to the notes to the financial statements, which this is just a whole bunch of extra information about things such as capital assets, long-term debt, pension and OPEB. We have a very lengthy note about the transfer to Western Virginia Water Authority. So there's a lot of good information in here. And then if you'll skip all the way to the back to page 78, we'll be looking at the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. So this just lists out all the money, the federal money that you spent during the year. So you'll see that the largest piece of this is your COVID-19 Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund. We also call that ARPA. So during fiscal year 23, you spent $7.9 million out of this chunk. And then the total spent for the year was $9.4. You'll see also that there was a large amount spent for highway construction. And then if you skip to page 85, we get to the schedule of findings and questions costs. So this is just a summary of the state and federal compliance. These findings were also We went over these in great detail in the Finance Committee meeting. Some of them carry over from the prior year. It lists current year findings as well as prior year and whatever has been cleared during the year. At the top of the page, you'll see a summary of all of the findings. And then you'll also see the two programs that we tested, which were ARPA and then highway construction. And then if you flip through, you'll just see the findings listed out as well as a response from the town. And that is everything in the AGFR. So we also have another packet of papers, which is a little bit smaller. And that contains the two letters that we issue. So the first one is, we call it the management letter. It's actually called the Report on Comments and Suggestions, Accounting and Other Matters and Required Communications. Just a very long name for management letter. And we discussed these comments in great detail with the Finance Committee. Most of these mirror the comments that are in the report that you just saw, the last couple of pages. And we add some IT suggestion comments in there as well. And then the second letter in that packet starts on page 11. It is not numbered, but it's right after page 10. And this letter just communicates information to council, such as any sensitive estimates, as well as posted and unposted journal entries. You'll see if you flip through at the very end is a copy of all of the journal entries that we made during the year, as well as a signed management representation letter. And those are the letters. So that is all I have for today. Are there any questions?
Council, any questions or comments? I'm sure you'll be up most of the night.
I've already read it.
You're good.
3 today.
Madison, thank you very much for the presentation. I know there's been a lot of work, certainly from you folks and our staff, and we appreciate it. And I understand that we're on track to get caught up on all this, so that's good news.
Yes. We're very well into fiscal year 24, so
Awesome.
we're trying to catch back up, and yeah, we'll be on track pretty soon. So,
Good deal.
all right. Well, thank you guys for your time, and if you have any questions, just let us know. We're around. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Come back.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Madison.
Okay. All right, with that, we will move on to the next item, which I think
Just roll with that, right?
Gotta accept.
oh, do we have to accept? Okay, let's do that then. Yes, we should, after all that hard work. Sorry about that, folks. I should know that. So we need to consider the resolution which would approve and accept the report that we just heard from Madison.
I'll move to adopt the resolution approving and accepting said report.
I'll second.
All right. Any further comment or questions? No? Hearing none, we will, please call the roll, if you will, please.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes, thank you. Now, thank you, folks, keeping me straight. Now we'll move on to the last item there. I think the town manager is going to handle this.
Yes, sir.
I see Jeremy's close by, so.
I may need to call the bullpen on this one for sure. Thank you, Mayor Gross, members of council once again. So what I have before you this evening, this was a recent discussion between myself and the county administrator. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit here. In the current version of the MOU that is set to expire in 2027, it is contractually obligated for the two managers to meet in January of 2025 to discuss potential edits. So that's what prompted this discussion. If you recall, back in 2019, the town entered into an MOU with Roanoke County to replace what we refer to as gain sharing. In 2022, we revised that with a First Amendment, essentially with some additional assistance and contributions to services that we provide that the county collects, such as tipping fees and 911 emergency services. So flash forward again, back to the meeting just a few months ago between Richard and I. The county had some discussions about the potential to renew this in 2027, as well as some other economic development related incentives. And so the board felt it prudent to request that we put in some provisions here, really to capture the intent of the 1979 original gain sharing agreement, was to provide some revenue sharing to lessen the need of the town to consider annexation. I know it's a mouthful. So this second revision, a second amendment to the 2019 MOU, is to put some language in there that doesn't prevent the town from future considering an annexation, but if we do, we would forfeit the current revenue sharing associated with this agreement. That's basic enough? Okay.
Yeah.
So before I confuse it any further, I'll just ask for your consideration of the enclosed resolution, and then we will take action at a subsequent Board of Supervisors meeting in the future.
All right. Council, you have any?
I do.
Questions?
Yeah, let the record reflect, Madam Clerk, that in no way, in shape or form did this council ever address the issue of annexation in East Roanoke County. Right. It was naturally an idea that a citizen had, and the citizen brought it out into the public through social media, and it was something naturally that this council had to deal with. So as I stated to some people, I'll state to you, we have a great working relationship with Roanoke County. We have a great working relationship in a lot of aspects. And as one council member, I don't care where you're at, United States Senate or right here, we only have one vote. I don't know that I would take East Roanoke County, even if they gave it to us. So anyway, I would like for the record to reflect that, so that if somebody ever sees this, they will understand that it wasn't a deploy by us to try to do something with East Roanoke County or with Roanoke County Board of Supervisors. It was something that was out of our control that we had to handle.
Right. Well said. Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Okay. Pete, I don't think this is out of what you and I had talked about earlier, not too far off, but just kind of like Mike was saying, just so that the record reflects this. If for some reason this agreement was, if we agreed to dissolve this particular MOU, then there would be no penalties that would have to be paid as far as any funds that had already been paid toward property.
We exit prior to 2027.
Yeah.
We would have to compensate the Roanoke County for the public safety building. They've been paying contributions to the debt service. That's it. That would be paid in full in 2027. So if we were to vacate prior to then we would have to pay them back.
Okay.
But assuming we may take no action ahead of the debt being paid in full, there will be no penalty other than the loss of the revenue sharing that the MOU provides to us, which is primarily, again, 911 and tipping fees beyond the public safety. So,
right.
So, they're not punitive damages as we got to repay anything or penalty, but there would be some loss of revenue or prior to 2027 paying back that debt service.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. Like I said, it's a matter of record. So anything after 2027, then there would be no revenue that we'd have to reimburse.
We wouldn't have to reimburse, we would just lose future
right
compensation for those shared services.
Okay. All right. And I assume Jeremy's been through this.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
3 times over the year.
Yeah, Jeremy was working on this before he was actually our attorney. Jeremy was working with us when we were doing the gain sharing negotiations in 2019. And he became town attorney in
21, 20?
20 or 21.
Time flies.
Yeah, it was all that great work he did on the game sharing.
Yeah.
That let him hear.
Let him hear. He shoot then he's going to have lots of work. So,
Never what's that old saying? What that old saying, no good deed goes unpunished. So, all right. So, any other questions or comments, council? No? Hearing none, then we have before us a resolution that would, as you have heard, execute the Second Amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding with Roanoke County. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution authorizing the town manager to execute a second amendment to the memorandum of understanding dated July the 1st, 2019 between Roanoke County and the town.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember McCarty, a second by Vice Mayor Mullins. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mullins,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. And so with that, we'll move on to our appointments for boards and commissions. And I see that RVTV is
So
going to...
we usually have a staff member that serves on the committee for RVTV. Marshall was that person beforehand. We're recommending having Mandy be on there. She does handle a lot with RVTV for events, so she'd be the person that would be best fit. So the motion is pretty much just to allow her to be on the committee.
Okay. So then, is there a motion to appoint Mandy as our...
Make a motion to appoint Mandy
Okay.
as our RVTV.
All right, thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right. Mr. Town Attorney, I don't see anything listed, but I know you're constantly doing stuff. So I appreciate it. I don't see how you have time to pick
I'm
up
sitting
tiles.
talking to Pete while you're talking to him.
He's still getting stuff done while you're talking.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Try to use the time.
good to know that time's not completely wasted. All right, Mr. Town Manager.
Two quick discussion points. One, just want to thank Town Council for your attention and attendance today at the work session. It was very helpful for staff to get some head nods and some confirmation that we're on the right track. Look forward to completing that budget process for you and bring it back to you for additional consideration. I want to thank staff for all the department heads' work, managers all the way down, and certainly for Andrew and Cody's hard work. It's been some fun days. It's been one of the more fun budgets to engage with, and we've had some good times kind of putting that together. You have to put your thinking caps on. So it's hard, but it is a fun part of the budget, because that is what you're planning for next year. So it's kind of fun to think and contemplate over that. Also leads to some sleepless nights too. And then I just want to, we'll have an opportunity to appropriately recognize Tony. I think she has one more council meeting with us, but unfortunately, as you found out last Friday, Tony has decided to leave us, and we're going to definitely hold grudge on this one.
Traitor.
We'll
I
have.
vote no. No.
I'll vote no, even though she's
We'll have an
Gonna leave us.
opportunity to properly recognize her at the next council meeting, but just wanted to acknowledge it and tell her thank you for the work she's done the last 2 years. And we'll miss you, but hopefully you're not going too far. And unfortunately, I get to get trained by another new clerk in the future. So, we'll.
You should have a hang of this by now, Pete.
And that's all I've got. We've got a lot going on, but we've covered a lot of topics today, so we'll let it be.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. With that, we will move on to the council comments. Keith, you want to start this evening?
Sure. Just thank staff for today and all the hard work you guys put in. for the presentations. And, thanks, I don't know whose idea it was, but works perfect being here instead of, somewhere else and taking up the staff's all day. So I think this is very informative and we appreciate it. And thanks for all your hard work. And then, today was the child abuse pinwheel planning, and we do that every year. But I think, child abuse and also what's happened in our community over the last week or so with the bullying episode that happened for Mount View Elementary in Sweet Autumn. It's the same thing as child abuse. And so I think hopefully people will wake up and support this child abuse prevention and let that be part of it as well.
Yeah.
Me, just add, I was a 10-year-old girl at Mountain View Elementary, was bullied. Last Friday took her own life, hung herself in the bathroom of the elementary school.
Yeah.
Well, very sad.
And then on a positive note, just kudos to downtown Benton. It's fun again.
Yeah.
It was fun when I was a kid, but then it died, and now it's coming back to life, and there's a lot of fun down there. It's close to home, it's safe, and it feels like like it's always been a fun community.
Yeah. Very good. You're exactly right. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you have anything further?
I also want to thank everybody for today and for the reports that were given that were very easy to understand. Thank you so much for that. I value our staff so much and know that they are a big asset to the town. And so it was a good day. And I too think, like Keith, that this was a good time to do it prior to a council meeting. And I'm just excited about, everything going on as well.
Yeah.
I've got a lot on the community events that I do every 2 weeks. So if you're doing everything in Benton, then you're definitely not bored.
Yeah. You don't have to go anywhere else, do you?
That's right.
Thank you, ma'am. Vice Mayor, anything further?
I echo those comments for sure. I appreciate our staff very much, and especially this past week, the Benton Police Department who've had to visit the pawn shop a couple times due to alarms going off for no reason. And so as we wind down that chapter, I appreciate you guys coming immediately to come and see what was happening, and luckily nothing. And as I think Dibble said, gave them a little something to do at 3:00 in the morning. So I'm glad Benton's quiet at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, you're right. Good. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Stovall.
Thank you. Great budget. Great work. Once again, not to beat that drum, but anytime you do the raises, hold the insurance whole. Staff, and we could have said to staff, we're not going to give them a raise, and they would still actually bring this, come back to work and gave us 100% like they do. So it's a great budget. I do agree with Keith about downtown 100%. And I tell you how I believe it's going, which is great. I was at the Dogwood the other day, and Keith Poff, who owns the Dogwood, a good friend of mine, a lot of you may know him, Andy Nicely. Andy's doing a lot of work with Keith, and Jessica's her name. She's the head waitress over there. It's going so well down there that they are going to partner on July the 4th with Pokey Joe's and R&D Coffee. They're going to, according to them, are going to close the parking lot off, have live music in the parking lot, and then have their things in the parking lot, and people will park at the church and our new parking lot and all that. So anyway, I think that shows the relationships that they have as far as that's concerned. Is that true? Is that right? Have you heard that?
I heard rumblings.
I said to him, I told him that a couple of days ago, but have they talked to you about that? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Well, anyway, they'd said, they told me that they'd reached out to, I guess, to Dale about closing the parking lot off. And so anyway, And then also what Keith alluded to, I did get a call the other day regarding naturally the 10-year-old girl. Of course, don't know her family, don't know her. It's definitely a tragedy. And they have a couple of things that they're looking at as far as bullying is concerned. And they actually just called to say, hey, what was the protocol about coming to town council? Because I think they're going to try to go to the government bodies and talk about bullying, talk to, nationally police department and the things that they can do to help stop it. And, as I've said, I always say the bottom line is that if you know somebody's getting bullied, whatever they want to call you, snitch or whatever, but turn them in. Just say so-and-so's getting bullied so that you can handle that. So anyway, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Like you said, we keep beating the same drum, but as far as our budget presentation this afternoon, it's a good drum to sound. It was very good, guys. The entire staff did a great job and presented in a very understandable format. But the other thing I wanted to mention too is I appreciate so much the time that you folks spend describing the future projections and stuff like that. I have a lot of confidence in the professionals on our staff, particularly when I see those types of projections and you have reasons behind them. It just made a lot of sense. It really worked this afternoon, so thank you guys for that. It's a good job, good job. Antonio, we'll certainly recognize you next time around, but
No.
it's been great working with you, and always good to have an interested citizen with us. Mary Ann, I'm glad you're here. One last thing, if you would pass along to, I'm sorry, did you have something?
But I want all of you to excuse me, and I apologize to all of you. As you know, that Mayor Phillips has definitely put me off guard. Stay while I was in because I need to give honor where honor is due for each person in this room today.
Well, how nice. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. You're certainly welcome back anytime.
And make any comments you want.
No, thank you, ma'am. We do appreciate you. But as I was going to say, if you would pass along to Justin Baker our congratulations. I understand he completed the Forensic Science Academy program. Must be a pretty intense program from what I hear.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased that he completed it, and I think he completed with a pretty high score as well. So
Oh, that's so nice.
good.
All right, yeah, so if you'd pass along our congratulations and his appreciation to his dedication to the job.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here.
So you've always enjoyed commenting on my career in the police department.
Yeah.
I graduated from that academy that the mayor so much talked about. I'm looking at Mr. Lyles down on the other one.
Oh, I thought you.
Yeah, that was on a scroll. That was like the muskets and all, wasn't it? Train rep.
That's right. That's right. We had to figure out how the black powder went in the gun back then.
Well, seriously, I don't think your training ever stops, does it? Seems like you folks always have some training, so it's great. Very proud of our police department and the way they stay up to date with all the training and everything. Anything else to come before council this evening?
Well, Mayor, I did want to say, my restaurant for this week is Daily Bread.
Oh,
we had
cool.
lunch there today, so
Yeah.
that was delicious.
Yeah, and you got to check out the breakfast at Pokey Joe's.
Exactly.
Awesome. It's awesome, right? Anything else, folks? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by leaving. Thank you, folks. God bless you.
Thanks.